let's see if we can get some group participation. By show of hands, who feels like they don't know enough to make the calls yet? Like you just don't know what to say, and that's what you're really struggling with. If that's you, raise your hand. All right. So we got one hand, maybe two. So the rest of us, we probably know enough to at least get started, start making some calls, fail forward, but there's a reason why we're not doing it. So that reason is probably fear, or you can't even really use time as an excuse because like Lars is on a 66-day challenge that he's like, I'm not going to bed until I have two meaningful conversations. I know a lot of you were prospecting based or still are. Like I'm talking about 30 sellers a day saying no and hanging up on you. Like Lars is talking about 2. So time really can't be an issue. So you gotta you really gotta get connected with what you want out of this, guys. This is my 2018 goal sheet, vision board, and maybe this affirmation will help some of you. But I would have made this in November, December 2017. My rev share would have been $2-3 grand a month. That's all it would have been. And I was struggling like probably a lot of you on this call. So I wrote down an affirmation on my vision board that said, to share who I am and what I have to offer proudly. So who I am is just me, and what I have is the ZXP opportunity. So to share who I am and what I have to offer proudly, for most it won't mean anything, but to some it will mean everything. So the people that are like, screw EXP, it's a pyramid scheme, whatever they say, like that's like the worst thing they'll probably say to you, which is much nicer than what a lot of sellers have said to me calling expired listings. To them, it's not going to mean anything. They're not going to think about you later that day. But for the person that joins and builds an organization of 200 agents and they're making $15,000 a month, and then their working spouse is like gets injured and can't work at their job, and now it's a one household income, but they also have 15K a month residual, like, and they don't go into foreclosure, like it means everything. Like if Cliff did not tell me about EXP, I would be in Charlotte, North Carolina, probably selling 200, 300 homes a year, working my tail off, not happy because I wasn't happy 5 years ago selling 100 homes a year. And from the outside, it would be a good life, but I'd be burning out and I wouldn't be living the life of my dreams. So like when you're talking to these people, you got to really be thinking about that. Like you have the greatest gift to give to people. So that was a good affirmation that helped me. And just a side note on here, I'll show you guys if I can get close enough. It says earning $100,000 per month passive by December 31st, 2020. My first 100K month was November, a month before that. And that was 2 years prior to that happening. So this kind of stuff works. And I just wanted to bring this out because I had them out because it's, it's New Year's. If you're not doing this kind of stuff, I am a firm believer in writing out your goals. A lot of you guys are all high performers, man. I'm probably preaching to the choir, but maybe some of you forgot to do it because you're a procrastinator like me. Like every year we got to be reevaluating our vision and thinking bigger. And that's probably another problem is complacency. I know a lot of you are high income earners making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year already. Life is good. Like we're talking about, the painful present or the good present, like Lars is talking about. It's hard to get out of a comfort zone. So my wife and I just got back from Dorado Beach, Ritz-Carlton Reserve, $2,700 a night. I think the most I ever spent on a hotel room was $500 a night. But now we're like, we want to move there, but the houses cost like $10 million. So now my vision for what I need to do is even bigger. So now it's helping me get out of complacency that will set in from time to time. So hopefully that helps somebody, because I'm convinced that it's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of inspiration that stops people from achieving this opportunity.
Man, I don't know who wants to follow up that. That was amazing. Really, really good. AJ, I almost wonder if, have you done a session on dream boarding or vision boarding for Game Changers recently?
Not recently. I'd be happy to, though. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Can we maybe we can do it as my Tuesday training?
Yeah, I'd be
If
happy
you
to.
want, if you're available, because I just think that's a lost, that's like one of the not at all urgent things to do. That's critically important. Like really getting a clear vision of where you're going to be in the future is not something that people take the time out to do.
Yeah, it's because it seems so simple and it seems silly, and it's just getting really clear on where you want to go. Like, like this vision board, I actually have a green Lamborghini. I'll show you guys real quick. That's my green Lamborghini. Costco $15, but everything else on here I actually accomplished. And this was 2017 when I was like $300,000 in debt, making 200 grand a year. But I was only in real estate. That's my 4th year in real estate, so that was like a new level of income for me. So I didn't have enough time to pull myself out of debt and all that. But none of the stuff I accomplished down here, like traveling for a year in a motorhome, having a golf cart somewhere on here, a golf cart in the in a beachfront community, snowboarding for 3 months. Like that was so far from where I was when I was at Keller Williams in 2017 or EXP in 2017. I would have been 10 months in EXP at this point. My rev share was $2,000 a month. And 6 months later, everything on this started to come to fruition. So I truly think that when you guys get super clear on your vision, it helps you give yourself permission to make the space to allow this opportunity to happen, because everyone on this call is capable of it. You've shown it in your current life. You're not on this call if you're not already successful in what you're currently doing. I know we got some investors on here and then the rest are probably real estate people, but you're already a high performer. Everyone on here can do it. It's just, you're just not doing it yet. So when you really connect with what you really want out of life, then it's like, oh my gosh, I just got to talk to some agents, because the reality is residual income is the only path to true freedom. And even if you're making a lot of money, you probably can't buy enough rental property to give yourself true freedom in any short period of time. But there's no reason why everyone on this call can't be making 50 grand a month in 2 years. It's possible for everyone. So I'm pumped up. 2022 is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's why I asked AJ to join us on, he just has a different perspective with being in the company when it wasn't what it is today, and seeing people that should have succeeded not succeed in revenue share, and people that shouldn't have succeeded with revenue share succeed with revenue share. And it's just a mindset and a vision and a willingness to look stupid, but nobody's, we do way harder things than, to AJ's point, than call other agents and say, whatever you say, because I've had 1,000 calls like pre-EXP with people, top agents and team leaders, and none of them have it figured out. They're all working 60 to 80 hours a week at the highest level. They're all miserable. Yet as an industry, we put them on a pedestal. It's like that person would never, like John Mikage would never join EXP, or Lars would never join EXP. They've said it publicly. They would never do it. Right. Until I realized it's like, oh man, I have no residual income in my life right now. Like that was my big realization, is that it's leveraged, linear leverage residual, but I had no residual income. Right. And so, once you really understand that, and I dismissed that concept from AJ when he first tried to share it with me. I just dismissed it. Like residual income is not, you have to work hard for your money. So that was just a limiting belief that I had. And he was like, John and I made fun of him on a boat in Miami. Not outright, but we teased him. We're like 200 agents. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, good luck with that. And then like 18 months later, AJ had that post for 2,000. That was August of 2020, 200 to 2,000, and then 2,000 to 5,000. And I joined like 3 weeks after you had those two posts that I mentioned to you, AJ. His one journey post, when he hit 2,000 agents, and then he closed 1,008 transactions in a single month. I'm like, that son of a gun. Like, he lives in Puerto Rico. He didn't close any transactions. Now I'm like, and then John called me a week later. And I don't know if those guys were working on it. So everyone that has dismissed it and they think negatively of it and they've had bad multi-level marketing experiences like I have, they're all coming over. They just need someone the right person to enter into their life. And so, man, AJ, hearing you share that, I zoomed in on the screen to see if you would get emotional as I was getting emotional. Like I could cry thinking about your story. Like it's just, it gives me inspiration. And I hope you know that it gives all of us inspiration. So, you showing up for this call is meaningful to us because you do have a lot of the answers, that we need to hear from you. So I appreciate you coming.